Hi and welcome to another video tutorial of RPA Genie. In this video, we will learn about the break on error feature. The break on error feature is used in scenarios when an error has occurred in any of the activities while the execution of the sequence takes place and the exception message should not appear. Instead, we can have it to pause at that particular activity in which the error has occurred. Now we'll try to understand the break on error feature with the help of a use case. Here we have a simple use case where the user has to enter the employee name, which will then be assigned to this variable called var employee name, and then it will be displayed in this message box. Next, the user has to enter the employee ID, and it will be assigned to this var employee ID, which again will be displayed in another message box. Here, if we have a look at the variables panel, we can see that the type of var employee name is string and var employee ID is integer. So now first we will execute this sequence without enabling the break on error feature. Here, when it reaches the second input dialog activity while the sequence is being executed, will give a false value of string type even when it is expecting an integer value so that it will display an exception message since there is an error. Let's run the sequence. Here we'll give the employee name. Now the employee name has been displayed. Next, instead of providing an integer value for the employee ID, we'll give a string value. Here we can see an exception message has been displayed, cannot convert from test to system in 32. Now we'll run the same sequence after enabling the break on error feature. So I'll click on this arrow and select break on error. Now we'll run the sequence. So here in our first input, we will provide the employee name. Now the employee name has been displayed in the message box. So let's click OK. Here we will provide a false value of string type even when it is expecting an integer value. So here I'll type test and hit OK. Now we can see that it has paused at the second input dialog activity in which the error has occurred. So if we have a look at the top right screen, here we have two more options where we can either retry the activity or ignore the error. So let's go ahead and check the retry activity. Here we can see the second input dialog activity has been retried and we can enter the proper value here. Right now, I'll give the integer value and it has been displayed in the message box. So when it has been paused, we can also select the ignore error option and it will just ignore the exception and it'll move on to the following activity. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.